Rex mission to land on an asteroid. Arizona Horizon and the Summer of Space. Thursday, July 4th at 5:30 and 10:30, only on Arizona PBS.
Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
AJ's Fine Foods, offering gourmet appetizers, fine wines for entertaining, and decadent desserts for all your special occasions. Find 10 Valley locations at ajsfinefoods.com. AJ's, purveyors of fine foods.
Deanne Griebel, now with Moores & Cabot Investments, serving investors since 1890, proudly supports quality programming on 8 Arizona PBS, 480-725-9602.
From the Cronkite Studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
Tonight, families with loved ones living at Hacienda Healthcare defend the facility, saying it's been judged too quickly.
Also, how 2 organizations made it possible for parents to see their children for the first time in years.
And a local boxing gym gives at-risk children the tools to succeed not only in the ring, but in life too.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Ellie Lundberg.
And I'm Tanai Williamson. Thank you for joining us.
Families with relatives at Hacienda Healthcare in Phoenix want the facility to remain open.
They spoke out today amid a firestorm surrounding Hacienda about reports of abuse and substandard care. Hacienda provides long-term assistance for infants, children, and young adults with a range of issues, including developmental disabilities. In late December, an incapacitated patient gave birth and nurses didn't know the woman was pregnant. The patient had been sexually assaulted by a nurse at the facility. An investigation revealed this wasn't the first time this patient had been sexually assaulted. The facility was about to shut down operations of its intellectual disability unit when the state stepped in to keep it open. Cronkite News reporter Amanda Slee is at Hacienda, where supporters shared their side of the story.
Hacienda once again faces losing its license. The Arizona Department of Health filed a notice of intent to revoke the license. This comes after a survey by the department and the incident back in December. The same day, maggots were found on a patient's bandage. Today, loved ones and guardians of the facility residents gathered in support of the facility, saying it was unfairly attacked.
Please do not harm our loved ones. We believe in this facility. We believe in leaders like the CEO, Perry Petrelli. And we believe in the medical professionals and caregivers who treat our loved ones like their own family.
David Leibowitz, the spokesperson for Hacienda Healthcare, says that they have filed an appeal for their license to stay, but they have removed major signs around the area as they have received threats. In Phoenix, Amanda Slee, Cronkite News.
Hacienda Healthcare and other facilities that provide for people with developmental disabilities are only one part of the growing industry of long-term care.
Cronkite News reporter Jessie Jo Pauley spoke with Arizona's Area Agency on Aging about the need for families to examine all of their options.
Arizona has a variety of care available, from assisted living facilities to nursing homes to at-home help. Regan Smith, who helps families find the right kind of care as the director of the long-term ombudsman program for the Area Agency on Aging, says it's important for families to examine their own finances and potential for government funds like Medicaid.
I think it's about doing your research, looking at facilities out there even before you're ready, so that it's not a fire, so that you are aware of what's in our community and how to look for a facility before it's needed, which most people don't do, but it's important to do your research and to ask those questions.
Smith says assisted living facilities have grown in the last decade, but people can also choose at-home and community-based services. From the studio, I'm Jessie Jo Pauley.
Senator Martha McSally continues to push Democrats to vote in favor of ratifying the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement. McSally was the keynote speaker during the Arizona-Mexico Commission's 60th anniversary summit in Phoenix. She spoke about the treaty, urging for members of the Democratic Party to put it to a vote.
We really need to move that forward. Our fate is in Nancy Pelosi's hands, and really want to encourage our Democrat counterparts in the House to be willing to bring that up for a vote, because it's so crucial. It'll pass easily in the Senate, but we have to start in the House by the Constitution. I would just encourage Speaker Pelosi and colleagues on the other side of the aisle to please don't play politics with this, especially those in states who are going to benefit from USMCA, to provide more opportunities for people in Arizona and really across the country. Modernizing USMCA is the right thing to do, so let's move forward, put the politics aside, and bring it up for a vote. I really just think the pressure needs to be put on the reasonable and other Democrats in Congress to put pressure on Pelosi to bring it up.
The USMCA is intended to replace the North American Free Trade Agreement, better known as NAFTA. So far, Mexico's Senate has voted in favor of the plan. Votes from lawmakers in the United States and Canada are still pending.
Also at the Arizona-Mexico Commission Summit, Cronkite News spoke with Governor Doug Ducey. He spoke about how Arizona and Sonora maintain their close economic relationship and dialogue, despite current tensions between the U.S. and Mexico.
We've led for both of our countries in unified cargo processing, so trade and trucking and transit and perishables can come across the border more quickly. It's now being reapplied in places like New Mexico, Texas, California, and Canada, and every other issue under the sun. So it's not just the two chief executives that have the relationship, it's senior staff, it's government leaders, it's private sector leaders, but none of it could have happened without someone who would operate with goodwill and good faith, and that's been Governor Pavlovich.
Ducey was empathetic when asked if there was anything that could break the bond between Arizona and Sonora. His response was a strong no.
At the center of the larger tensions between the U.S. and Mexico, immigration policy. Despite the challenging road many have acquiring visas to the United States, a Phoenix-based organization has found a way to reunite families who have not seen each other in many years. Cronkite News reporter Gabriela Collage was there for the emotional moment. Gabriela?
Some of the families reunited over the weekend had not seen each other in over 20 years. And organizers say they're currently working on bringing even more families together in the coming weeks. A loved one's embrace. Something so simple, separated by a border. For one family, a 17-year period of waiting, all worth it.
We were just counting the days to get him here. Yes, 17 years is a lot. It's a lot, so it's really exciting.
With the help of Esperanza del Frontera and Raíces del Sur, 6 Phoenix families were able to obtain visas for their loved ones to finally come home.
Like, actually make me feel like something so special, because I help, to come real, to put all the families together.
Alma Mendoza says she was inspired to do this by a social media post from Raíces del Sur. The LA-based organization was advertising the work they do to reunite elderly parents with their loved ones in the U.S.
Especially with all the immigration thing happening right now, on the border, people dying, because there's a program that you can apply and bring your parents, so that's what we try and work together.
Luis Aguilar, president of Raíces del Sur, spoke about the process.
Catalog or considered a cultural exchange. That's under an umbrella that allows seniors 60 and over to apply for visas with only a passport.
Aguilar says it can take between 4 to 6 months. Applicants pay a $500 fee that allows the organizations to process the paperwork, but not everyone who applies gets a visa. Visiting families usually stay in the U.S. for a period of about 3 weeks before heading back to Mexico. In the studio, Gabriela Collage, Cronkite News.
Sunday marked the 6th anniversary of the Yarnell Hill Fire.
The community gathered for a ceremony to pay respects to the 19 fallen Granite Mountain hotshots. We'll share what took place at the ceremony this past weekend and how the community continues to live with the damage the fire left behind.
And the Woodbury fire continues to burn. but it is almost completely contained.
As journalists at Cronkite News, we report on stories that matter to you by focusing on the local impact. We dig deeper and work tirelessly to keep you informed.
Live in Wickerburg.
Live in Los Angeles.
In Cleveland. In Washington. In Louisville.
From Jerusalem.
Live in Philadelphia. From around the world to right here in Phoenix.
At Cronkite News, we report the facts and stick to the truth.
Stay in the know on the go. At Cronkite News, we work hard to report the facts and keep you updated, whether we're on set or on the scene.
Taking it from the studio to the field. So I'm here in South Phoenix.
In Phoenix, we're just a click away. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, or find us online at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Millions of people die every year from drinking dirty water. I would never have felt I had the ability to do something without ASU pushing me. We built filtration systems out of local materials with the people. To see those kids drink clean water for the first time, it's the most rewarding feeling that you can ever have. I went to ASU because I wanted to change the world. The thing I never would have expected is how the world would have changed me.
By the year 2050, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish. Before Professor Halden, I had an insane amount of passion, but I almost felt helpless because I didn't know how to use it. Professor Halden gave me a chance to make a difference. Being at a place like ASU allows you to take these big leaps. Ultimately, the biggest problems in the world cannot be solved alone.
It has been 6 years since 19 Granite Mountain hotshots died while battling the Yarnell Hill fire, and the town honored the firefighters during a ceremony Sunday.
Cronkite News multimedia journalist Grayson Schmidt was there to capture how the ceremony also served as a way for residents to heal.
My feelings are sadness for the families, a lot of pride in what our community has been able to do to come together, to pull together. Even though we have differences of opinion on a number of things, there's still a connectedness here. I watched the crowd today as I wandered through, and I could see exchanges of people who remember what it was like 6 years ago. It's like you don't even have to say anything. I saw people exchange glances and like, remember what this was like 6 years ago, because it was exactly on a Sunday.
Andrew Ashcraft.
Robert Caldwell.
Travis Carter.
Dustin DeFord.
Christopher McKenzie.
Eric Marsh.
It brings a lot of emotions because I know the hurt that a lot of people are having out there, and it just, you can just feel it, the hurt. They all are healing. I mean, it's going to take time. That's just the way it is. I mean, this was a pretty traumatic thing that happened here, and a lot of people did lose everything that they owned.
You know, sometimes emotions don't have words. You just tear up, and I don't know how to describe it necessarily.
I just thank them for what they did, because if they hadn't done what they did, I'm not so sure we would have had a town.
You know, that old thing of, you know, where were you when Kennedy was assassinated? It's like, well, where were you when the fire happened? So those kind of stories still go on.
As long as we live in this town, even if we don't live in this town, every time we hear about Yarnell, this is going to be something that's going to be embedded into our hearts and our souls for the rest of our lives.
The loss of the hotshots made our survival possible. There are lots and lots and lots of fires in the West, you know, with the wildfires. Their dying put us in people's minds and hearts in a way that would never have happened if we'd just been yet another wildfire. So we have a special debt of gratitude to them.
The Granite Mountain Hot Shots Memorial State Park opened in November 2016, just south of Yarnell.
Development of the Yarnell Hill Fire Memorial Park is still underway.
As of today, 80% of the Woodbury fire just east of Apache Junction is contained. For weeks, firefighters battled the flames. Residents were evacuated as a safety precaution, and wildlife were forced out of their habitats while their homes burned. According to a story published this morning by Payson Roundup, while the fire is now mostly contained, current weather conditions still pose threats for firefighters as they continue to try to stop it from spreading further. Smoke is still visible as areas of vegetation are slowly burning within a perimeter of the wildfire zone. At this time, State Route 88 remains closed from Tortilla Flat to State Highway 188 at the Theodore Roosevelt Dam.
Phoenix City Hall and Superior Court were among many downtown buildings without power today, following an explosion in an underground vault Sunday night. The explosion left one APS worker dead and another injured. APS says the workers were doing planned maintenance. APS says the cause of the fire is still under investigation and the names of the workers have not been released.
Authorities at the Grand Canyon are still searching for a California man missing after a hike. National Park Service officials say Peter Francis Schwab was last seen Friday on a river trip on the Colorado River. Schwab was reported missing after a day hike in the Narrows and the National Canyon. Grand Canyon Rangers are searching the areas, and they are asking anyone who may have seen Schwab to contact the National Park Service.
Coming up, boxing is a great way to build character and strength.
Find out about a local boxing gym helping at-risk kids, and an owner who uses his own life experiences to change these kids' lives.
It's important for us, for our own legacy, to continue to expand what PBS can offer to everybody as far as educational platforms, arts, science, nature, and then of course all the masterpiece stuff.
We think that our contribution will help to increase to make sure that these programs continue to exist.
We want those things to continue to go on forever.
For more information about including Arizona PBS in your future plans, visit azpbs.org/giving.
All of its children had come to the Mother Church of Country Music. It was almost like a badge of honor that you had to bring your culture with you to the table. That's why Bob Wills and his guys brought us Western music. That's why Hank Williams brought the South with him from Honky Tonks. Johnny Cash brought the black land dirt of Arkansas. Bill Monroe brought music out of Kentucky bluegrass music. Willie Nelson brought his poetry from Texas. Patsy Cline brought her heartache from Virginia. I mean, it was the most wonderful parade of sons and daughters of America that brought their hearts and their souls and their experiences, and it gave us a great era in country music.
The Chavez Boxing Gym strives to help at-risk youth stay off the streets.
Cronkite News reporter Emmy Keenan stepped into the ring, where head coach Pete Chavez is firmly in their corner.
Pete Chavez, also known as the Punisher, is running more than a boxing gym. He started a family.
He's an amazing person. He has helped me a lot. He helps everybody. He has an amazing personality, and for me, I see him as a father figure that I never had.
The Chavez Boxing Gym takes up to 35 at-risk kids into the foundation, and Chavez says it all stemmed from his own personal experiences.
I grew up bad area, 35th and Van Buren, gangs, my dad not around, all that stuff. So when I started boxing, it totally changed my life.
Chavez has been boxing for nearly 40 years, and now he shares his passion with his son.
We welcome any kid that wants to come in here, and if they do have anger issues or if they feel like they're going through a hard time, and
They just need somewhere to be, stay out of trouble. It's this perfect place. You know, if they're willing to work hard and just show up, you know, we'd love to have them.
The Chavez Youth and Community Foundation has been around for a decade, and now it has reached full capacity. It's a program where they focus on more than just the ring.
I love the boxing, obviously, but we feed the homeless. We do things for Christmas. We do food drives. We do all kinds of different things. And the biggest thing, like with us, is like just trying to get out there to the community that we do so much more than just boxing.
Chavez said that boxing is a way to build character, strengthen mind, and strengthen body. In Phoenix, Emmy Keenan, Cronkite News.
This nonprofit organization has been growing much larger than expected. And if you're working out this summer, make sure you be aware of these high temperatures that can be super dangerous if you're not staying safe and staying hydrated. And speaking of these high temperatures, right now we're sitting at 107 here in Phoenix. Across the board, we see triple digits, except till you go up north. We're stuck in the 80s and 90s. And then tomorrow morning early, it's going to be sunny skies and 89 degrees. That's going to climb all the way to 106 by 4 o'clock. Now, we've entered July. It's the hottest month recorded here in Arizona. So let's stay hydrated, keep your sunblock, and if we have pets, let's bring them inside. For the rest of the week, we're seeing the 4th of July on Thursday, bright skies. It's going to be 106. But the clouds are going to roll in this weekend. It is monsoon season here in Arizona, but we do not see any rain for a bit. And then the clouds are going to go away on Monday. It's going to be 106 as the high and 82 as the low. Live from the Weather Center, I'm Emmy Keenan.
Coming up, the Arizona Coyotes are making big moves this summer.
We'll discuss the blockbuster deal involving a two-time Stanley Cup winner, along with reactions from team president and CEO Aaron Cohen and forward Clayton Keller.
I'm Matt Berry, ESPN Sports Center anchor and graduate of ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. With its bachelor's and master's degrees in sports journalism, the Cronkite School is preparing the next generation of sports journalists to tell stories that matter, stories that excite, inspire, and inform. Cronkite immerses students in covering sports at all levels in one of the country's top sports markets. It's this hands-on experience under the guidance of award-winning sports media veterans that shape the top journalists of tomorrow.
I'm Judy Woodruff, anchor and managing editor of the PBS NewsHour. The journalists of tomorrow face a fast-changing media landscape, but quality news remains vitally important to our communities, our country, and our world. At ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication, students learn solid, reliable reporting, holding the powerful accountable, and rebuilding the public's trust. The Cronkite School and Arizona PBS, preparing the next generation for a stronger future of journalism.
Hello from the children of planet Earth.
Exploring, it's the lifeblood of the mission.
Human beings are a curious bunch.
What are we going to see when we get really close?
Just because an idea is crazy, it's not necessarily wrong.
We were on our way.
You don't get anywhere until you've tested the limits.
That carries an intensity you can't imagine.
You could hear people just, whoa.
Oh my God, absolutely spectacular.
It's a rush. We ask a lot of our heroes.
We are at a remarkable moment.
We're going farther than any exploration ever has.
Millions of people die every year from drinking dirty water. I would never have felt I had the ability to do something without ASU pushing me. We built filtration systems out of local materials with the people. To see those kids drink clean water for the first time, it's the most rewarding feeling that you can ever have. I went to ASU because I wanted to change the world. The thing I never would have expected is how the world would have changed me.
The offseason has been a busy one so far for the Arizona Coyotes.
The goal? Bring more wins and more fans out to Glendale. Ethan Schmidt has more on the team's weekend blockbuster.
Thanks. Yeah, the Arizona Coyotes made a big splash on Saturday. The franchise completed a major deal to land prolific scorer Phil Kessel from the Pittsburgh Penguins. Arizona also gets a 2021 fourth-round pick and prospect Dane Burks, while sending forward Alex Galchenyuk and former first-round pick Pierre-Olivier Joseph to the Steel City.
It's a guy who's a proven leader in this league, proven scorer, winner, the guy that has 2 Stanley Cups. So this is just a huge day for us and our team moving forward.
It's really exciting to get Phil Kessel, such a great player. Can put the puck in the back of the net, so I'm really excited to be able to play with him.
We needed someone that we knew going into the season could be a 20 and hopefully 30-plus goal guy for us. And obviously Phil, he's been one of the most best offensive producers in the league for a sustained period of time. And, we think he's going to come in motivated and ready to go.
The 31-year-old Kessel is coming off of an 82-point season with the Penguins. He'll provide a huge boost to the Coyotes' offense, which ranked 28th in the NHL last season with just over 2.5 goals a game. The Coyotes hope the addition of Kessel will get them into the playoffs for the first time since 2012. In the broadcast center, Ethan Schmidt, Cronkite News.
Cronkite News is proud to be the news division of Arizona PBS. Here's what's coming up on Arizona Horizon.
On the next Arizona Horizon, details on a recent ban on most utilities shutting off power to customers during the summer months. And we'll hear from the governors of Arizona and Sonora, Mexico on the cross-border relationship between the two states.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us.
For top stories on Arizona anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
When a transgender Filipino woman is killed by a U.S. Marine, her community calls for justice and launches a fight against U.S. imperialism. Call Herganda on POV.
All new tonight at 9 on Arizona PBS. Explore new ideas and new worlds here on Arizona PBS, a community service of Arizona State University.